Imagine what would happen if you heard this sentence: you're in here for life. You are never going to be paroled. And then what happens? You get into a small cell, which is 8 feet by 12 feet. Hope quickly dies.
But the vast majority of these guys were the products of horrible family circumstances in horrible neighborhoods with horrible influences, and in the case of most of our clients, with a horrible mental illness layered over the top of that.
Some of these kids come from such a horrible background and all kinds of abuse and all of that, but I've never seen them more interested in coming to know the Lord.
The ones that I work with are looking for a developing faith. They really do want to have more information about the Catholic faith. I say to them, you're not forgotten.
I visited one woman in the women's prison who said, "You're the first person who came to see me in 9 years." Figure that out. She had no relatives. 9 years. She started crying.
It's like going to visit the lepers, who no one else wants to touch. And it's a tremendous burden that the people who visit take on themselves for a tremendous benefit to the people whom they're dealing with. It is impossible to overstate how important simple kindness is in dealing with these folks, because they literally have nothing.
First heard about it, women's maximum security prison, and then these maximum security youth centers. I'm going to go and be a chaplain here. And I was pretty scared about the whole thing. Didn't last long. It really didn't, because if you show up to love these kids, to care about them and to bring the Lord to them, it's amazing how much they'll open up to you. And you're not afraid of them anymore. Human beings that have made big mistakes, but no one's beyond the salvation and redemption of the Lord. Bring it to them. I mean, in Scripture, where would the Lord have gone? To these prisons.
I have a young man who's been in life imprisonment for 20 years, who never had a single visitor.
His father and uncles and everybody in his neighborhood were members of Hispanic street gangs. As a child, that was the life that he was almost inevitably drawn into. He was given drugs, including cocaine, by his parents at a very young age. He was speaking with his father on the telephone when he was 15, when his father shot himself in the head and committed suicide. People like the prisoner who did this picture are really, in a very concrete sense, the kids who society forgot about.
For me to come in as a representative of the church, the Catholic community, saying, we are here for you, then for him to have his heart well up and say, well, is there any way I can be of assistance to what you do? You work with the poor.
This prisoner, he has undergone a remarkable transformation.
He's an artist. Nobody ever trained him, but it's a beautiful work of art that he gave us. Our office sent him a photograph of his artwork framed. Whenever I talked to him about that, and he looked at me and tears welled up in his eyes, and he said, this is the first time anybody ever affirmed me for any good thing that I've tried to do. I too got teary, because under the circumstances, this was a major thing.
The other thing I'd say about this kind of a ministry is that this is a really, really hard place to go into. This prison is a lifeless place that's operated to be lifeless. And so visitors are themselves really impacted by what they see there and by the suffering that goes on in this place. And it's a tremendous burden that the people who visit take on themselves for a tremendous benefit to the people whom they're dealing with.
Prison ministry is something you hate to do when you're going, but you're happy when you're coming home, because you know you've done something very good. When you come out of love, and they know that, that's healing. That's why Jesus said, I was in prison, you came to visit me.